Welcome to this channel. In this video, we'll try and understand about the enzymes, its characteristics, and what is the structure of the enzymes. So this is chapter number 3 of the class 12. So without further ado, let's dive into deep. Right? तो ये जो टॉपिक है, this is one of the most important topic for the first year students to remember and to memorize, and for the general students to understand this concept is very essential. So without time wasting, let's start. So if we talk about the characteristics, what is the word? This means basically tell us. Characteristic, हर एक चीज़ की characteristics होती हैं जो कि उसकी खासियत के बारे में बताती हैं, उसकी खुसूसियात, उसकी जो है क्या उसमें जो चीज़ है, ठीक है, तो उसके बारे में हम बताते हैं. उसको क्या कहते हैं? कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स कहते हैं. अब एक इंसान के भी अंदर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होती हैं कि अब उसके में अंदर है क्या, उसकी हैबिट्स क्या हैं, वो क्या करता है, राइट. सो इन द सेम सेंस जो मॉलिक्यूल हमने पढ़ा है एंजाइम, उसकी भी कुछ खुसूसियात हैं, इसके बारे में हम पढ़ते हैं. तो number one point is that they are the biocatalysts. We have already discussed about this term. Catalysts are those molecules which speed up the chemical reactions, right? And bio, if we say the bio, it means we are relating to the life. So they are the biocatalysts, and they are found in the body of the humans as well as in the animals, and more specifically they are present in the plants as well. Where they are produced, the question arises, they are produced in the protoplasm. So what is the protoplasm? The protoplasm is the living part of a cell, right? Living part of the cell is the cytoplasm, right? On the other hand, that is the nucleus. In the center of the cytoplasm nucleus, these both structures are known as a protoplasm. And number third point is most important to be remembered. Most of the enzymes are proteinous in nature, right? While some of the enzymes are not protein because they are involved in the transformation of genetic material, and they are known as a ribozyme because they are made up of the ribonucleic acid. But most of the enzymes from lipase, pepsin, amylase, these all the enzymes are proteinous in nature. They are macromolecules, they are bigger molecules of the globular protein. So the point to remember over here is that there are two types of the protein. Number one is the fibrous protein, another is the globular protein. Globular protein, right? Fibrous protein, right? Keratin, the hairs and nails are the fibrous protein, are made up of the fibrous protein, while your blood hemoglobin is made up of the globular protein. So we have already discussed, or you might know before, that the classification of the protein, there are on the basis of the structure. There is a primary, right? On the other hand, there is a secondary structure, tertiary structure, and the quaternary structure. Primary and secondary structure are found in the fibrous protein, while the tertiary and quaternary is found in the globular protein. So globular protein is a little bit complex in the fibrous protein, and the enzymes are made up of the globular protein, right? And the non-protein part, which is sometimes attached to the enzyme, is known as the peristaltic group. So enzymes are basically the proteinous part, right? But sometimes a non-protein part is also attached to facilitate the enzymes, the activity of the enzymes, and that particular part, the non-protein part, is known as the prosthetic group. They react both acidic and alkaline substances. They did not see the whether what is a pH, what is the type of the substance or substrate. They just react both of them, whether it would be acidic or whether it would be alkaline. Intracellular enzyme are endoenzyme, which means sometimes the enzymes are produced in the cell, right? As we know that they are produced in the protoplasm. Sometimes they work over there wherever they are being released. For example, this is a cell, and here enzymes are going to be released in protoplasm, and they work over here, right? They do not go outside the cell to perform their activity, but rather they become available in the cell to and there they perform their activity, right? So that is the intracellular enzyme or endoenzymes, they are known as that type. While the exoenzymes are those enzymes which show the activity by moving outside the cell, and they perform their activity by moving outside the cell. They are known as the exozymes or extracellular enzymes, right? Specific in nature and action. They are specific and action and nature, right? We say that this person is habitual of his nature, this person is punctual of time. In the same sense, they are specific in the nature and action. They have their particular type of action, and they have their particular type of nature. We are going to define in this preceding video what is their nature and action, right? Enzymes is much greater in size than substrate. Sometimes it happens that enzymes have to be much greater, right? If you have to just, you have the key and lock, right? And you have the key in your hand, the key will be always smaller than the lock, and here the lock is the enzyme and the key is the substrate. So in the same sense, the enzymes are much greater in size than the substrate, as in the case of the lock is greater in size than in the case of the key. Active site, right? This is the most important thing. Enzymes contain the active site, particular site, that is a particular site where substrate is going to be attached. The enzymes are going to be required in small quantities. There is no need to have the large quantities of them. Another definition, another term, activator. Enzyme activities can be accelerated by the certain ions. So activators are enzyme activities can be accelerated by certain ions or salt, like magnesium and chloride. On the other hand, we have another term, that is the inhibitor. Enzyme activities can be inhibited by certain factors like substrate concentration and enzyme concentration and pH. So as we already discussed, they are specific in nature and action. So they, for their action, they sometimes need the activators, right? For example, certain ions or there, that is the inorganic substances. These are the inorganic substances like these ions, magnesium chloride. On the other hand, the inhibitors, their nature is going to be affected much by the inhibitor if it does not meet with the specific pH concentration and enzyme concentration and the substrate concentration, that then they are not going to be work properly. That is not the favorable condition for the enzymes to work, and they are thermolabile. Thermolabile means, therm means heat, sorry, therm means here, okay, here therm means heat, while the mobile, labile means sensitive, right? Sensitive. So they are the heat sensitive, they are the pH sensitive as well. They remain unchanged during and after chemical reaction. For example, before performing the chemical reaction and even after performing the chemical reaction, they are going to be unchanged. There is no any change in their structure. So these are certain the characteristics, these are the certain characteristic of enzyme. Hope you understand this. The structure of the enzymes, if we talk about the structure of the enzymes, so the action of enzyme is a complex, that is the thing which we have already discussed. And the most important thing is they are the three-dimensional. They are complex in the sense that they contain the globular proteins, and their structure is three-dimensional. Enzyme has a tipple or groove of a specific shape called the active enzyme, active site. So this is the active site, a little groove or a dimple shape, right? Over here the substrate is going to be attached, and that the complex is going to be formed, the substrate and the enzyme complex is going to be formed, and the reaction is going to be occur, and then we have the product. Later we have the product. So this is all about the structure and the characteristic of enzyme. Hope you understand, and thanks for watching this.